Shalom and welcome to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. You are listening to a Yizkor sermon by Rabbi Rebecca Schatz.
10 years ago, this July, my uncle died of pancreatic cancer. You have all heard me talk about him a lot, and this actually is not a sermon about him, but rather the cycles and challenges of memory in grief. 10 years ago, I could not imagine a world without him. Feeling the world emptier, less joyful, big holes in places and narratives that were once unknowingly filled by him and our close bond. Who knew that there was a certain smell to his home that now when I smell it out in the world, I can only think of him? Who knew that certain places in Los Angeles were only embedded into my mind in relation to him? So now, they are graveyards that I visit and can feel him and remember our outings, but no new memories are created there. They just can't be. 10 years ago, he was present in every dream, every sentence, every empty place at Shabbat dinner, every hug of his sons or wife. And now I worry that he is not as present. A decade is a long time to live without a person physically present in every moment of life. Graduations, relationships, jobs, achievements, loss, love, frustrations, celebrations, they all happened, and so many people are part of them. Yizkor is a time where we individually come to stand in community and recall someone who we loved uniquely. Even if surrounded by siblings or children or parents who are recalling the same person, we each have a different connection to the loved one, to the one we are remembering. Yizkor can be a time to feel present with a loved one in a powerful, tangible, almost ghost-like manner. Standing with them, feeling their hug, smelling their cologne. And Yizkor can be a time to close your eyes and review life since the last Yizkor, and bring them into each of those moments. However, for everyone in this room, Yizkor is a moment to stand fully present in the presence of tangible moments, some that feel close and maybe other memories that feel too far away. Memory is a bizarre thing in the 21st century because we have devices that do it for us. Our browser history, Facebook birthdays, phones that store numbers, cameras that show us a face if we ask for it. Our memory is now somewhat dependent on the technology we use. So are we losing the capacity to hold on to memories inside of us if they live outside of our minds? Or are the things that we experience in life supposed to be fluid, at times more present, and at other times further away? I remember what my loved ones looked like, but the details of every crevice of their face or wrinkle in their hand is brought back to me through a photograph. I can hear the voices of those I have lost in my head, but I'm reminded of the twang of their southern drawl or deep, soul-filled laugh when I can listen to the recording or watch a video. I can feel their love in my heart, but I can now only read their words on birthday cards or in a congratulatory email. I'm just scared and feel guilty that I'm losing those memories. In the Talmud, Masechet Nida, page 30b, we learn that when a fetus is ready to leave the womb and enter into the world, then an angel comes and slaps its mouth, causing it to forget the entire Torah. Why would a new life need to forget the entire Torah before living life, rather than come into being with knowledge, understanding, and connection? Rabbi Avi Strasberg of Hadar asks, what is the point of God teaching us all of the Torah if only to take it away from us before we enter the world? What kind of gift is this? She continues, I wonder if God teaches us all of the Torah, not so that we should actually know the Torah, but for the sake of the impression that it leaves on us, a trace of something we once knew. This trace is the shadows of Torah shimmering on the peripheries that draw us in and causes us to long for what we lost. There is some subconscious part of us that remembers this close encounter with God and wants us to get back to that Torah. If we never learned the Torah, perhaps there would be nothing to draw us back to it. There would be no impression calling us home. Is this the same lesson for people in our life? As Tom Kitt wrote for the musical If Then, if you met him tomorrow and knew you would lose him, if you saw him and saw all the hurt you would know, would you hold him while you had him or let him go? Of course, we would hope to answer that we would still take the pain of losing someone to have known them at all, to have known the impact they had on our lives, on our work, on our values, on how we now impact others. On Shavuot, do we need a reminder, both with the revelation of Torah as well as with a moment for Yizkor, that there is no correct timeline or volume of memory. There is only impact and influence. Our rabbis teach, Letovato Adam lamed Torah v'shocheach. It is for their benefit that a person learns Torah and forgets. She'ilu haya Adam lamed Torah ve'lo shochacha, haya mitasek b'Torah shtayim shlosh shnayim v'chozer u'mitasek b'malachato. Because if a person learned Torah and did not forget it, they would engage with Torah 2 or 3 years and then return and engage with their work. Ve'lo haya mashkiach ba le'olam kol yamav. And they would not invest in it for all of their days. Ela mitoch she'adam lamed Torah v'shochacha, eino meziz ve'eino mezia et atzmo midivrei Torah. Rather, instead, because a person learns and forgets it, they don't move themselves from the words of Torah. Maybe we must just ebb and flow in memory and notice the ways that we continue to come back to memory, to come back to ways that a person has changed our behavior, our value system, our life's path. Maybe we use time to distance ourselves from the tangible memories so that our lives can turn into experiential memory and becoming with that person. Yizkor brings us back to the tangible, to the visualization of a face, smell, touch of a hand. Yizkor takes us out of the experiential and focuses us into the hardest part of memory, feeling as though instead of in the past, this person is very much with us in the present. Shavuot brings us back to a reality of Torah learning as a cornerstone of our people, of our existence. You will not remember everything you learn ever, but the experience of learning will keep you connected. In the book of Joshua, we learn, Lo yamush sefer haTorah hazeh mipicha v'hagidta bo yomam v'layla. Let the Torah not move from your lips. Recite it day and by night. This phrase is not one that indicates that you must learn and remember Torah every day to a level of proficiency, but rather that it should be present and woven into the fabric of your day. Each of us are in this room dealing with a different timeline of loss. Less than a year, 1 year, 10 years, 40 years. Each of us are also dealing with different relationship around loss. Some of us had beautiful, loving, influential relationships with those we are mourning. Others of us had complicated, distant, challenging relationships with those we're thinking of today. And yet, no matter the time difference or relationship variance, we are each here to come closer to memory, come closer to a person who now only lives in our hearts, our minds, and our actions. We are coming closer to reclaiming those tangible memories while acknowledging the ways that all our experiential memories have changed our path of life. A decade is a long time for me. I have lived a lot of life without my uncle physically by my side, and I have lived life every day with him in mind, in heart and in purposeful actions. I see him in my life as a rabbi, pastoring, supporting, teaching like he used to. I feel him in my family's celebrations and challenges and decisions made, jokes shared, the intricate, intentional details that he brought to every moment. I might not think of him daily in a way that brings tears to my eyes or a voice to the other end of a phone call. But like our Torah, I am living through, with, and because of what I've learned from him. And today, I am here at Yizkor with all of you, with memory more present, and to remind myself to keep learning.
You have been listening to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. If you enjoy these podcasts, we invite you to write a review on the Apple Podcast site or wherever you get your podcasts. For more information about Temple Beth Am Los Angeles, go to tbala.org.